What is up, Tech Twins? Right here with Twinfolk Tech, and today I just wanted to take a little bit of time to share my thoughts about the Pixel 6 1 year on. So I know all of the buzz right now is about the Pixel 7, and rightfully so. This is a beautiful device and a nice refinement from the Pixel 6 series, where Google decided to, oh shit, I just hit these phones together, where Google decided to fully overhaul their design language on the Pixel series. But we're not going to talk about the Pixel 7 today. We'll have a video about that, more videos about that coming up soon. But I want to share my appreciation and my love for the Pixel 6. So for me, I think this was a bold move by Google in terms of, the design language overhaul, having that nice camera bar there, replacing that generic kind of camera island squared off, and, those less premium looking or less unique looking ways of having your camera on your phone. I mean, every camera, every Android camera basically looks like an iPhone carbon copy, and Google decided to do something different here with the 6 series. So I really, really love this design language. And you can see that design language as well there on the 6A. But I really love this design language. It just looks super sleek, super cool. And for their first foray into refreshing the design, I think this is beautiful. Don't get me wrong, the 7 is refined, a little bit more refined, but this was and still is a very beautiful phone for me. I love the matte rails around this phone. This is why I decided to opt for the 6 instead of the 6 Pro. I had the 6 Pro initially, but it was all glossy, and I just loved the matte rails on the 6, and I also loved the flat panel on the 6. I don't like curved screens at all on my phones, and so the flat panel was the flat panel and the matte finishes were they just did it for me. Also, I don't use the telephoto lens at all that was on the Pixel 6 Pro. So just knowing that I was still going to be taken care of with these two lenses on the back. You got your 0.7x ultra wide camera here. I think that's 12 megapixels, and then you got your 48 megapixel main lens there. So I was still going to be taken care of with these lenses because of Google's smart computational photography that they have on all of their phones. It's tuned up even more here on the Pixel 6. And you had the introduction of Google Tensor, so Google's first in-house system on a chip. Google Tensor is, I think, built off of a Samsung chip, but that really doesn't matter. Google did what they do best, which is software. And they really, really made it their own. And with the material you refresh as well, it was just like a whole new breath of fresh air into the Google lineup of smartphones that we could expect. This, for me, really set the bar and set the standard as to what the default Android should be and what it can be. A lot of people think that Samsungs are the default Android, quote unquote, but for me, when I saw this Pixel 6 and I picked it up and I used it, like, this was it. I was like, this is how Android is supposed to be. And it's not even that the Google Pixel experience is bare bones. Like, this is not stock Android. Stock Android is going to be your AOSP build, which is the Android open source project. It's going to be that with your bare bones features and whatnot, since Android is open source, and that's what they use, these other companies use rather, to make their own skins, their own Android custom skins on there. And so the Android experience that you get on a Pixel phone is still a skinned Android experience, but this is the Pixel experience, and I feel like this is the way that Android was intended to be. Like, the Pixel 6, up until the Pixel 7 came out, the Pixel 6 was the smartest smartphone that I used. Like, features like the Google Assistant, features like call screen, hold for me, all of those really pixely, unique features just made this such an easy phone to use. It really, like, this felt like I was walking around with an actual personal assistant with me at all times. Just the way that the software is just so finely tuned, and it just makes it such a smooth user experience. I know when the 6 series first came out, a lot of people had issues with the biometrics on there, so we didn't have any face unlock options, and then people were having trouble with the fingerprint sensor. For me, I never had any issues with my fingerprint sensor on any of the Pixel 6 devices that I had. I never had any issues on the Pixel 6, the standard one here, the Pixel 6 Pro, or the Pixel 6a. So I couldn't identify with those complaints that people had about this device. Even throughout all of the different software updates and things over the time of having this, I never had a bad experience. Like it wasn't one of those cases where, okay, they push out a software patch to fix one bug and then a million other bugs pop up. I never had that happen to me. I'm only speaking from my personal experience, but I never had that happen to me with the Pixel 6 series. The standard Pixel 6 was the one that I kept the longest. But I never had any issues at all. My biggest issue with the Pixel 6 series was I had my weather widget displayed, and for like about 16 hours after Android 13 dropped, my weather widget would not display the weather, and then it just started back working shortly after that. So that was literally my only issue or bug that I've ever experienced with this phone. I didn't have any crazy overheating issues on this device, not from normal use, not from putting it through its paces. For me, I am a crazy video nut, so I am always shooting video, and I'm also the family documentarian basically. So I'm shooting everything in 4K 60 as much as I humanly possibly can. And with this, running around chasing my nieces and nephews, capturing family events and things like that, I never had this phone overheat on me once or tell me, oh, the phone is too hot, you got to shut off the video. Nothing like that ever happened to me on this device. And I was shooting in all kinds of conditions because remember, I've had this device for over a year, and I never ran into any issues like that. So maybe maybe I just got lucky. Maybe I just got lucky. But I want to say that this has been one of my favorite devices. I've tested out a lot of devices over the past year, and my SIM card always ended back up in my Pixel 6. Like my SIM card was always literally like screaming to get back to my Pixel 6. Like I would have it testing out the Pixel 6a, or I would have it testing OnePlus phones, Sony phones, different things of that nature. But my SIM card pretty much just lived in the Pixel 6 for most of the year. It was my main, had my main SIM in it. It was my main phone, so for personal use. And then the iPhone 12 and 13s, those were my work phones. And even when I was testing out iPhones, like I just had to put my main SIM back in the Pixel 6. So I really had a great experience with this phone, and I think it's definitely still worth a pickup. Because with Android 13, a lot of the kinks and software bugs and glitches and complaints that people had, they are now pretty much wholly gone after the Android 13 update that we got. So the fingerprint sensor is pretty fast. It's not going to be as fast as like your OnePlus devices or your allegedly your Samsung devices. I've had poor experiences with Samsung fingerprint sensors, but it is what it is. Like you're not going to like waste your life by waiting the 0.1 second to open up the phone. So fingerprint sensor woes are gone. You don't have face unlock, but I don't think that really is necessary on here because that fingerprint sensor is working pretty swimmingly now. The cameras on here are still good. You're still going to benefit from Google's computational AI smarts on the camera, whether it's photography or video. You're still going to be getting that good window of support. So I think you'll have 3 years of software updates for OS updates, and then 5 years of security patches. So you will get some longevity out of this phone. I guess you'll be using this phone until basically 2026 if you want it to. The build is premium. The build is solid. The design is just beautiful. And the Google Pixel experience is just probably the best way to experience Android. And I think here with this refresh, with this generation of Pixels, Google really did the damn thing. So I'm still recommending people pick up the Pixel 6 if they want to, if they want to save a little cash. Because last I checked, last I checked here, the Google Pixel 6 is going for $499 right now for the 256 gig variant. So this right here I have is the 128 gig variant. So literally for $100 less than what the Pixel 7 is, you can get a like the standard Pixel 7 for 128 gigs is $599. You can get the Pixel 6 here with 256 gigs for $499, and you could get the 128 gig version for even cheaper. So yeah, there's some really great deals going on right now on Pixel 6 series devices, and I highly encourage you all to check them out. I know a lot of tech reviewers are usually going to be about the latest and greatest, and I talk about, you know, the latest and greatest devices here on this channel as well, but I also want to encourage people to think with their wallet, think consciously about their budget, and think about the things that they need. If you're not somebody that's going to need all of the 4K 60s and all of the crazy stuff that came to the Pixel 7 series in that refinement, then the Pixel 6 is still going to be a baller of a device. And it's even a little bit bigger than the Pixel 7, so you have a little bit more screen real estate, I feel like. But yeah, definitely let me know in the comments, how do you feel about the Pixel 6? How was your experience with the Pixel 6 if you had one of these devices? Let's talk about it. So, as always, be good to each other, be good to your tech, and stay twinning. Make sure that you like, share, and subscribe so that way YouTube knows that I exist, and that way you know the next time I drop a video. I'm out of here.